A little bit of homework help for Unit 8, Unit 5, Lesson 12, how much will fit? Skipping down here to the second problem, similar glass aquariums of various sizes are for sale at a pet shop. They're shaped like rectangular prisms. A 15-gallon tank is 24 inches, so 15 gallons, 15 gallons is equal to a rectangular tank that is 24 by 12 by 12, giving us a volume that is 15 gallons is approximately equal to 3,456 cubic inches. Now you might be saying, how do we calculate to the gallons? Well, this is where your friend Google comes in and tells us that when we talk about how many gallons of water or how many gallons of liquid, how many cubic inches are in a gallon of liquid, we could say that 1 gallon is approximately 231 cubic inches. Okay? Under that piece, to recognize this, if you take 3,456 and divide it by 15, you get approximately, well, you get exactly, so 1 gallon is exactly 230 and 4/10 based on this value that we have right here, but we want to round everything up to 231 is the accepted value. Remember, the way that we got that is this. We took the total volume in inches, 3,456, and divided that across 15 gallons, which gave us the value that we want to use as our value of number of cubic inches per gallon. With that in mind, now I need to start working with the tank that's 36 inches long. The total volume is equal to length times width times height, as we should be familiar with cubic or with rectangular prisms. So we end up with 36 times 18 times 12. And remember, we're going to divide that by 231. So 36 times 18 times 12 is 7,776 divided by 231 is approximately 33 and 67 hundredths. So now based on that, sorry, that's not rounded quite right. It's going to be 66 hundredths. Based on that, we're going to say the closest one here is 30 gallons. Okay, that's what we'll need to do for each of the rest of these. You'll want to go through and find out the total volume, 16 times 8 times 10, and divide that by 231. Round to the nearest value that's given here. Part C, how much water can the following take with the given dimensions? Again, the same thing, multiply these three together and divide by 231. Again, for the next one, it's kind of all the same thing. And what we're doing is we're figuring out how many gallons will work for that piece. Okay. We're going to skip over that next one and that one all the way down to these ones. It says select all the points that are on a line with the slope 2 that contain the point 2, -1. If we're going to talk about they all have to have a slope that's equal to 2, we have to do a couple different things here. We have to check these to make sure that whatever works with this point, 2 and -1, all the points that are in line with the slope. When we understand what the slope is, we can use the equation y is equal to m times x plus b, slope-intercept form. And what I'm given here is I'm given the slope m, I'm also given an x, and I'm given a y. With that, I can substitute those values in here, and I know that the y is -1, the slope is 2, the x is 2, and the b is unknown. Find that y-intercept, and we find what our equation is so that we can go ahead and substitute everything in. So b is -5. Now that we have our equation, or all of our information. We know the slope is 2. We know that our y-intercept is -5. Now we can start substituting to see which ordered pairs work for this situation. We can substitute 1 and 3 for x, so 3 for x, 1 for y, and see, does this come out true? 2 times 3 minus 5 equals 1. This one's true. So I want to select that one. If I substitute 1 is equal to 1 for x, 1 for y, 2 minus 5 is not 1. That one's out. 1 and -3, so I have 1 for y. 2 times -3 minus 5. -3 times 2 is a -6. -6 minus 5 is -11. That's not true, so that one's out. You get the idea. You need to substitute and solve for each one of them. For the final question, we're supposed to solve the system of equations and write your answer in the following format of an ordered pair, x and y. Recall the piece that we use so much of with substitution, recognizing first and foremost these two equations are equal to y. Therefore, these two expressions are equal to each other, stating that since 2x minus 20 is equal to y, and x plus 4 is also equal to y, given that y is equal to y, then these two expressions must be equal. Solve everything for x. Once you solve that, you should be able to substitute back in right there and verify that that y comes out exactly the same. If you can do that, you're going to get it right. And then your equation, or then your answer needs to be your ordered pair x, comma, y, no spaces. Don't forget the parentheses or else it's going to mark you wrong. Any more questions? Let me know.